Hi, this is Trevor Cutmore. Thank you so much for coming on to see this video. I'm doing a series of interviews with great professional people who've got great insights, and the whole point is to help you, property investors, overcome barriers and obstacles to help you complete that deal. Now, I've got a lot of experience, but if I'm just talking at a camera, it doesn't really work. So I love talking with people. I learn, they learn, and more importantly, you learn. So listen, if you like this video, please like it, make a comment, and if you can share it, that'd be fantastic. I wish you all the best. Hello, it's Trevor Cutmore, and I have the pleasure of introducing Jackie Goodman, a very close friend of mine, who's on her own property journey and a fantastic property investor. So it's a great privilege of mine to be here and interview Jackie, because I know she's got loads of stuff for you. So Jackie.
Hi.
We met back in 2009 on training.
We did.
We did. And you and I, we clicked off pretty quickly, didn't we?
Yeah, immediately, yeah. Immediately.
And look, you had a very high pressure job. Mm-hmm. My job was good, but I was very flexible, so it was good for me because I could find a bit more time. But I think one of the things that was the most powerful thing for me was our relationship, because look, obviously my wife Marie, you know, she's not interested in property. She's not. She doesn't know what I do. You know that. We laugh about it sometimes, okay? But but with you, it's really good because I used to phone you and you used to phone me quite often. You know, most days I remember I used to chat. Just before I used to go into property, I used to ring up and say, Jackie, can I just check this pitch on you? And I used to check it. But then when we did the training, we used to get in the car and we used to talk for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And you always went off on the wrong exit, didn't you?
All the way home. Yeah, so we used to basically speak from when we left the training to all the way home. And then we pretty much speak every day. We did. And listen, without that, I can tell you, I don't know if it was the same for you, but without that, that really impressed the training onto me, because we were talking about it, we were digesting it, we were working it into our life, and it was so good to have someone who I could rub off and really put that information out there. So, and we cried and we laughed with our failures and our successes. We did. Yeah. I think one of the important things about speaking all the time was that because we were both working, and particularly with what I was doing, it was very, very high pressured, the stuff that I was doing. And it was the kind of job that when you were in the job, you were completely in the job. There was no opportunity to go off and do other stuff. No. And none of the people that I worked with got what I was doing. In fact, I didn't really talk about it. But because we were both starting out in a lot of personal development as well, I was listening to personal development stuff. I was using my car as a university, if you like. Yep. I was using every opportunity to listen to stuff. And when I got into work, it was a totally different mindset. Everyone at work had a totally different mindset to the people I was meeting in property. And if you'd have spoken to them about some of the stuff that we listened to, they wouldn't have been interested and they wouldn't have got it. So I think coming out of work and then being able to speak to people like yourself just kept that mindset going as well. Yeah.
Do you remember I actually got rid of a television at home? Do you remember I did that? And that was the thing, because look, it was a great tip what you're saying, is turning your car into university.
Yeah.
And that's something, I mean, I know that at the time mindset was much more your bag. I mean, I've grown to love it and I know how important it is. And I think I'll be interested in what you say, but you know, when I talk to people now, for me, property is 90% about mindset and 10% about the property.
Yeah, absolutely. I think any business is, yeah.
It is.
Because, you know, the important thing is that resilience and being able to keep going. And I do a lot of coaching on mindset now for people in property, which really does make a difference for people. Yeah,
no, it's so true. Look, obviously we started and we made a lot of mistakes, and they were some of the funniest things. I mean, I remember, you know, I went in and made an offer at a house once, and the guy started laughing in my face, and I thought, what do you do with that one then? and I'm sure I would have told you about that, and we laughed about it. But look, you start your property journey, and I use you as an example every time I talk. Honestly, I talk about you more than anything, because you're like brother and sister. But I have to say, when anyone says, well, I'm busy, I have a full-time job, I said, look, you don't know Jackie Goodman. All right, and there is no excuse, because I remember you had files like that coming home, and you worked not just the office hours and more. You had to do everything else, and yet you still built a successful property portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the important thing there was that for me, going into property was not about making more money than I was on as a lawyer.
Yeah.
It was about changing my lifestyle completely and buying back 60 hours a week, because what I really wanted was that freedom to be able to work for myself and choose how I spend my days. So I kept that as a vision really clear on my mind. So as an example, if I was at work and everybody else would go to the kitchen, put the kettle on, they'd all be chatting about what they watched on TV the night before, I'd run off onto the stairwell and make a few calls to agents to book in viewings.
Perfect.
For my day off.
Yeah.
I literally used every pocket of time really well. So on the commute in, I'd be either listening to personal development stuff or, you know, looking at emails or making phone calls. I literally used every moment because I had to.
But you know, Jackie, that is such a powerful thing what you just said. And I don't know if you realise what you said. Most of the people I sit down and will work with and sort of mentoring them, they would say, you know, whether they've got money or not, they would say, you know, I want £10,000 a month at the end of the month. What you just said, I want to change my lifestyle. Your focus is first lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And secondary was money.
Yeah.
And that is interesting because so many people get it the wrong way around.
Yeah, they do. And also when you're building, if you are looking to replace your income, come out of your job, which not everybody is, people have lots of reasons for wanting to do property. It could be because they have no pension or, you know, for whatever reason. A lot of people do want to come out of their job or even just reduce their hours. But one of the things that I often coach around, and people very often don't have the discipline to do, which I did, was for example, if you need £2,000 a month, when you get to £2,000 a month and then you bring another property on, and let's say that next property is another £500, what most people do is they'll increase their spending to 2.5. What I did was I kept it static and I made sacrifices and I reinvested. Each time I bought some more properties on, increased my income, I just reinvested that extra. Brilliant. So that I was continually reinvesting but keeping my expenditure static.
Brilliant. Listen, and that's so important when people want to get on, because I always tell people when I'm training them is you got to pay the piper. You have to. And it comes at a cost. So many people think, they come into property and think, you know, I see these other people doing it, it's easy, and I get on with it. Now, one of the things I always say is, and as Jim Rohn said, right, it's his words, until you learn to love failure, you'll never be successful. So let me ask you, how many properties have you viewed, and how many when you started, and how many was it just a flat no?
Oh, loads. But that's the point, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I always use Dina Honey as an example, which we both know. Yeah. And she viewed 200 of them. She made 30% discount offers, and she got 6.
Yeah.
And I use that 1 every 33. You might be close to getting your first deal.
Yeah.
But when new people go out and say, I've seen 10, it doesn't work, what would you say to them?
Have you really tried? Yeah.
Well, it's true. Even at then, if it's 1 in 100 when you start because you're fumbling away, look, you've got to pay the piper. You and I have done that legwork.
Yeah.
Now, we don't do it as much now because we understand how to speak to agents. We understand this is what we want, and we won't go and sit. And probably we will complete on 1 in 2 or 3 now because we know what we're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. All right. Look, later on, you and I, we started to do. You're laughing. We ran a PIN meeting, a Property Investors Network meeting in Dudley, in the Black Country, and that was co-hosting with you. And I have to say, it was some of the most fun times we had.
Brilliant, and we had a great team, and we had lots and lots of people in the room. But people used to say that we were like a husband and wife because we were constantly bickering.
We were.
In fact, they were quite surprised that we weren't married because we were arguing all the time, but in a fun way, and people loved it, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the clicker. So the clicker for the presentation, I would always have it, and you would want the control, and it was like a husband and wife thing. It was so funny. And you used to really give me some tip, and then occasionally you'd get hold of it, and you never worked it properly, did you?
I couldn't work it. I wasn't allowed to touch it, so obviously it didn't work when I did. But that was fun. Yeah. And again, it's keeping those relationships going as well, isn't it?
Because it is.
It's been 10 years now that we've been, investing professionally in property, and obviously we've been in touch regularly as friends, all the way through.
Yeah, so, you're like family.
Yeah.
It's so good. Now, and look, through those network meetings, we met a lot of different people. I think it was great presenting. That gave us a lot of confidence. I always remember the first one. You were a bit nervous.
I was very nervous.
It was. Yeah. And you said you got upset with me because I remember you said to me, Trevor, I started saying, yeah, I'm nervous as well, and you just didn't believe me.
Yeah, because you weren't nervous, because you love it.
but it was fun, and honestly, we did that for about 3 years, and then I left, and then you carried it on, and eventually I did one down in London as well. But it was so much fun, and I look forward to it every month. It was great. And do you remember the little skit that we did on
joint ventures? Yeah, that was funny, but actually the point was really well made.
Yeah.
So by doing a little bit of comedy about how joint ventures can go wrong, I think lots of people came up to us afterwards and said, you know, that now I really understand why it's important to know what you're doing when you go into a joint venture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that was fun.
It was. I might do that at a later date. You and I would do it on camera and we'd put it out. So we'll have a look at that. One of the things, look, there are not many ladies in property investment. All right, whenever you go to training or you go to a networking meeting, I don't know, 5%, maybe 10%. I know it's. Yeah, I think it's growing a bit now.
It is a little bit, yeah. I mean, certainly it is still, I would say, predominantly male.
Yeah.
In certain meetings that you go to, there are even female hosts now of some of the meetings. But still, if you look in the room, there's a lot of males. Yeah. Certainly.
So look, you know, I've done a talk on my own, which is on YouTube on my channel, and that was about the people around you. So. You know, whether it's because it's a sexual discrimination because you're a woman, but likewise, you know, we all get put down by people and friends for whatever reason, whether you're male or female. So I don't think it's discriminate in some ways, but obviously being a female in a very male-dominated arena, it can be, you know, quite oppressive and difficult. So look, there's a lot of ladies out there who I meet who want to train and want to get on, and they're experiencing some of the issues that you had to face. So, you know, what would be some of the advice? Because I haven't seen it from being you.
No, of course.
And you've had to overcome a lot more things. I mean, look, people, you know, say, oh, you think you're famous, or you think you're this and think you're that. Who do you think you are? I get that, but I'm sure you had a lot more, and because you're female, not because you're an investor.
Yeah, no, I think that there's always going to be an element of that. I think particularly one of the things a lot of women do face a problem with is with tradesmen. It can be.
Okay.
Initially, you know, builders are used to dealing with men. It's as simple as that. And I think that a lot of women, if you speak to them in property, they would say that, you know, getting the trades to take you seriously and to listen to you when you're on site is, you know, now they do, of course, because I've got my own team and stuff. But, you know, when you first start out, it is quite difficult to be taken seriously because it is a predominantly male arena. It is.
It is.
And I think when you're going on to development as well, you know, you do find that there's less women, you know, doing that. So, yeah, I think, I mean, one of the big challenges for a woman, I would say, is that, and we've talked about this because I hope you don't mind me saying that you have a traditional marriage.
I do. I'm a very blessed man.
Yeah. I am. And Marie, you know, love Marie to pieces. I know Marie really well. We've all, of course, been on holiday together lots. But Marie looks after you.
She does. She does. Yeah, she had this thing the other day, and she was making a noise. I said, "What is that?" She said, "It's a Hoover." That's.
So so like if I ask you if you want a cup of tea, you say you have to ring her to find out if you take sugar.
I am joking, you know that. No, because I love Marie and I look after her.
She's great. Yeah. But the point I'm making really is that as women in business, very often we have to do all of it. So we have to do the home, you know, all the chores, everything else. If you've got kids, you have to do the kids. You know, in my case, the dogs.
Yes.
And go out and do your business, your property, whereas in your case, all you get home, all that's taken care of, so you can just focus on property, which, although we're joking about it, is actually quite a big thing.
I agree, and this is why one of the points I want in the video, because, you know, I think I want them to watch this because I know they're going to be inspired and encouraged by you because of very much the issues that you've faced and overcome. So that's why one of the, you know, powerful reasons I want you in front of people.
Yeah, so I would just encourage women to, you know, get out, and also if they can get the support of their husbands. Yes. You know, then if you're working as a team, that really does help.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Marie doesn't know anything that I do in property.
Well, that's okay, but you guys work as a team, because she looks after that and you look after that. So my advice to women would be go and get a housewife.
Yeah. All right, but you know, but as we become more successful, we can actually pay people to do those other jobs.
Yeah, so you pay for
cleaning,
a gardener, a cleaner, etc., etc. There's always a way around.
Yeah.
You know, it's a case of how can I make this work rather than I can't make this work. I think that's the key.
And then look, you know, what are we doing it for? We're doing it for life and our passion. Mm-hmm. So just tell us just a little bit about your dogs, because they are your passion.
Oh, they're my babies, yeah, absolutely. Oh. So yeah, I've got, as you know, Charlie, the German Shepherd, and fantastic. I've just taken, one of the things that's really dear to me is animal welfare.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been able to do through property now is to support animal welfare charities.
Yeah.
One of them is, I'm so sorry.
It's all right, it's going to be in there. I did tell Jackie not to bring her phone in or put it on silent, because mine is.
I'm
but
so
don't worry, because
sorry.
this is staying in. I'm not taking it out.
One of the things I've been able to do is to support the dog rescues in Cyprus, where animals are not treated, well, dogs are not sort of treated the same as we would treat them. And I've just brought a rescue over from Cyprus and paid for another one to come over, which, you know, that is dear to my heart.
Yeah. What's his name?
The little one, Lockie.
Lockie.
Yeah,
he's here.
So I've brought him in. He's in with me now. I've kept him. But I also support the same charity being able to fly other dogs over into the UK, and obviously any other animal welfare charities.
And that's your passion. So look,
it is
if you stayed in your job, could you have ever done this and spent the time like you do with your dogs?
No, because I do competition obedience with my German Shepherd as well, and you need the time to do that.
And this is it, because you are focused on your lifestyle.
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, it's not about the money for me. It never was. No. I've never, ever been driven by material assets. Never. No. And I never will be. What drives me is that on a Tuesday at 11 o'clock, I can take the dogs out over the fields if the sun is shining, and I can work my work around my own hours. And that was the freedom that drove me on, and that was my reason why.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Tell us now, look, what happened yesterday in your property journey? What did you do yesterday?
What day is it today?
It's Tuesday today.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
So yesterday, completed on a refinance yesterday, which was great. So it was a property that I bought direct to vendor. It was a completely rundown property. It had been empty for a couple of years. It was almost derelict. So rebuilt it from the inside out, turned it into an HMO. It's absolutely beautiful HMO.
Yeah.
And managed to refinance out all of the money. So that came back in yesterday. And Monday I got the keys to another purchase. So, you know, still, although I do a lot of coaching and mentoring of other people in property, one of the things that's, I think, really relevant is the fact I'm still very active in property myself. Yeah. So I'm still actively buying and renovating and, you know, doing property myself, which I think is really, as you are. So that's really key. I think if you're helping other people, it's better if you're still very much active yourself. So this week's been really good so far.
Yeah, it's been great.
Oh, and I've also just managed to fill a couple of the houses as well, which have only I literally got the keys on Monday and I filled it today. Fantastic. So that's really good.
Look, and that's the thing. So look, let's say there's either a single lady or there's a lady who's got a husband not interested. All right, and you know it's quite daunting going out to think now I've got to deal with tradesmen. So what would be, you know, 2 tips for a lady who hasn't done it before to deal with tradesmen? What would you say?
Well, first of all, I would say that tradesmen, like anyone, they're people, and find a way to build rapport, to get on with them, find a way to work with them. That's the important thing, and you're not going to be able to work with everybody, and it isn't necessarily the best builder, it's the one that you can actually work with. And you know, with trades as well, you will find that people will move on. You will bring new people into your team. You'll trial new people, and you know the team will change all of the time. But I think it's you want someone who's efficient. You want someone who knows what they're doing, obviously. But equally, it's about being able to work with them and just find a way in. I mean, in my case, because I work with my business partner a lot, and he tends to do a lot of the stuff with the tradesmen as well. You know, if you really don't like doing that side of it, then find someone to work with who is really good at working with a tradesman. You don't have to do all aspects of the business yourself, and as you grow you won't be able to.
No, that's great. And look, you know, I'm only inspired by you, Jackie. I know we laugh and we joke, we do, but you know, there's not a day that I either teach or train that I don't mention Jackie Goodman. She has been an incredible friend, confidant. She knows me probably closer than than anyone on the planet, really. And I value our friendship, as we both do, and we laugh all the time. Yeah. Although she promises to buy champagne at a celebration, she doesn't. I tell you that. But
yeah, I managed to get him to actually buy the champagne, and the meal.
Yeah.
And also, I think we went to the casino and it was all your money that went on the table as well, wasn't it? So I did quite well out of that evening.
So look, it's fun, but I have to come back full circle. The strength for me personally on my journey was our buddying up and talking to you. There's no doubt that had an absolute significant influence on me in my mindset in getting out and carrying on, because especially on the failures. And so, you know, I think that was great, and I think I'm an advocate of people buddying up, because they go on to programs, whatever it is, but the important thing is to connect with someone else that you can speak almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's really important. I mean, even in the last few years, you know, we've spoken a lot, and it's been a two-way thing. You know, I've rung you and said, can I just throw this around with you? I'm thinking of doing this. Have you got any other ideas around it? And as you know, I went through a difficult time recently in trying to close out a joint venture portfolio.
Yeah.
And now I've managed to do that, and separate off from something. But I spoke to you about that regularly, didn't I? I spoke to you about that, and you supported me in it. That's invaluable. And I would say to anyone who's doing property, it can be quite solitary. Yeah. So find someone that you trust, that you don't have to necessarily joint venture with them or even go into business with them.
No. You
just have to be able to trust each other. You can pick up the phone.
Absolutely.
And help each other out. And it's been invaluable for me as well, because you offer great advice. And vice versa.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've been there for you. So
no, it's been brilliant. It really has. Look, Jackie, I know this is going to help a lot of, especially ladies. That's what one of the things. And I don't mean to harp on and give men a hard time, but we do have it a lot easier. There's no doubt about that. But I'd love a lot of ladies to be inspired, and I know that by watching this, a lot are going to have a lot more confidence and say, well, I can do it. And that's part of it. It's a mindset thing. It is. So I'd love you to give a little bit of advice to ladies. If you can recommend maybe 2 books on mindset which you think would absolutely spoke to you, that would be brilliant.
Okay. Well, certainly The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson probably made a massive difference to me, because I'm not the most naturally disciplined person on the planet, and that's all about discipline. So making sure that every day you take small actions every day. I always say, if you can do 3 really focused actions on a daily basis, you will be moving closer to your goals every day.
Yeah.
That's better than doing a whole day on property once a fortnight.
Good.
So, and I think The Slight Edge is very similar to the compound effect.
Yeah, I miss compound effect, so that was my one.
But The Slight Edge for me really worked. It's all about discipline and moving forwards to your goals. And I like The Millionaire Next Door, but that won't necessarily speak to everybody.
No.
That was very much about what I was talking about earlier, about keeping, being... Yeah. It's not just about earning more money, it's about looking after the bottom line as well, which is really important. And if you are trying to get financial freedom, then obviously, if you just carry on spending excessively, it's going to take you longer to get there. So it's about making some short-term sacrifices, because you can always build the luxuries back in once you get there.
Absolutely. Jackie, it's been brilliant. And look, I know that many of you are going to be inspired. Please make a comment, and that's really important. If you can share the video to other people so they're going to benefit from them, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please do. My name is Trevor Cutmore. Jackie Goodman. Jackie, I want to thank you. You're an absolute blessing. I love you dearly. I really do.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of information and it's helped you on your journey. If you have liked it, please like, subscribe and share to help other people. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye bye.